Did something happen this week? Did something happen on Tuesday that no one told me about? Oh, hi there. Sorry, I didn't see you. You see, I happened to be reading this morning's edition of the Daily Trojan, the local newspaper here at the University of Southern California. And I really enjoy reading this paper. There's something about getting your news from something, something physical, not Twitter, not Facebook. And every now and again, this paper really has an article that speaks to me, something that really just warms my heart, something that just is just so meaningful not only to me, but to, ladies and gentlemen, the number 20 USC Trojans went up to Seattle and defeated the number 4 Washington Huskies, effectively crushing their hopes and dreams at the college football playoff. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, we are still in this.
Run away with me, lost soul in revelry, running wild, running free, two kids, you and me, and I say, hey, 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 living like we're renegades, hey, 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 living like we're renegades.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Los Angeles Vibes. As usual, I'm your host, Russell, here at my apartment in the University of Southern California. And once again, as opposed to last week, I've added more stuff to our wall. I mean, it seems appropriate because, frankly, USC keeps winning, ladies and gentlemen. I can't take anything down if we keep winning. But I would like to thank you guys so much for checking out this episode. My, oh my, do I have a lot to talk to you about. Not only do I have so much to explain to you, I have Sasha's segment waiting, I have a special guest who is waiting to talk to me right now, matter of fact. I have a lot of extra props for you today. I'm a little sick, so sorry if my voice sounds a little bit off compared to usual, but let's just jump into it, shall we? And oh my god, I'm honestly, throughout that entire game, I was in shock. USC just outplayed the Washington Huskies in every facet of the game, whether it was quarterback play, running back play, total offense, but defense especially. Oh my god, I will get into that later, but I'm going to go ahead and start with the offense. And of course, when you're starting with the offense, you got to start with the man, Sam Darnold. So the USC Trojans ended up getting the W, up at Washington over the number 4. Excuse me, like I said, I'm sick. Over the number 4 Washington Huskies, 26-13. We doubled their score in their stadium, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think you understand what that means. We doubled their score in their stadium. This is a place where the Huskies just absolutely they just beat Stanford so hard, it effectively just ended Christian McCaffrey's Heisman career. Like, Christian McCaffrey is good at football, ladies and gentlemen, and Washington just ended him. We went up there, and frankly, we made the Washington Huskies look like a bunch of puppies, ladies and gentlemen. We made them look like kittens, okay? The Trojans are back and better than ever. So we're going to go ahead and start with Sam Darnold. So he definitely had another freshman game, a very talented freshman game. He did have 2 picks in the game, one of which he kind of just threw the ball up there, trying to make something out of nothing like he's done in the past. But frankly, he wasn't playing Oregon, he wasn't playing Cal, he was playing Washington, which, to their credit, still has a very good defense, still has a very good offense, and he just tossed the ball up there. It did get picked off. Later in the game, he did have another pick, actually to the same player, but it wasn't really his fault. And when I say that, it's not his fault. I mean, the receiver literally just slipped, fell down. The ball would have gotten to the receiver if the turf monster hadn't gotten to him, and it just landed in the arms of the defender. And frankly, there's nothing you can do about that. So, but besides that, Sam Darnold had 2 touchdowns in this game, so he went 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. One of which was to a tight end, and my oh my, did the tight ends have quite the game. Bebe had an amazing game. Unfortunately, there was a drop pass by another tight end, which was very important at the time, but luckily it didn't matter. All the receivers came out to play very well. Juju Smith-Schuster was very important in the first half. He got him a couple balls early, but then frankly was just silent through the remainder of the game. But each receiver was just out there making plays, very reliable, no drop balls. Everyone was really just making moves, making the catches necessary to keep USC in this game. Ronald Jones played very well. He was very consistent. Nothing spectacular like the last couple games, but you can't expect 200 yards against Washington on the ground by a single player. You just can't. So I do believe he had over 100 yards and a touchdown, which is very important. So yeah, honestly, our offense just they did what they needed to do. You know, it wasn't the spectacular outings that they've had the last couple weeks, but I don't think anybody was expecting them to have those types of games against the number 4. I'm going to say that again, the number 4, the College Football Playoff Committee put Washington at number 4, the number 4 team in the nation, and placed the USC Trojans at number 20. And, you know, there were a lot of people saying, okay, the only reasons they ranked the Trojans at 20 was so that they can make College GameDay interesting, so that they could have 2 ranked teams playing each other. I mean, a lot of people were saying this was just going to be a very boring week of college football, and it turned out to be chaos week with the number 2 team, Clemson, falling to Pitt, the number 3 team, Michigan, falling to Iowa, and then the number 4 team, the Washington Huskies, falling to the number 20 team, the USC Trojans. And while watching this game, I was speechless. I couldn't believe how well we were playing just the entire time. Our defense, I wish you could give a defense an MVP. They played lights out. I think I've already said this on every facet of the game. We stopped the run. I think they had negative rushing yards in the second half. I think we held them to under 50 rushing yards total, which is just amazing, especially against a team like Washington. We held Jake Browning. Oh my God. Heisman candidate? Not anymore. Not after that performance, because frankly, the Trojans just shut him down. I mean, our line was getting to them. Our secondary just had everyone covered. I mean, there was that one touchdown to their amazing receiver. I forgot his first name, but his last name, Ross. You know, he kind of, he kind of made Adoree look a little bad there. You kind of juked him out of his shoes, but, it happens to everyone. I think he posted that on Twitter. Yeah, it does happen to everyone. And, he took full credit of it. He said, it was his bad. But I do believe he made up for it because after that, a little bit of embarrassment, he comes back, has 2 picks, and just pretty much one that seals the game, too. And then not to mention that flip after the game was over. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen that yet, go on Vine, go on Twitter, look that up, and man, Adoree Jackson is just a pure athlete. And I mean, oh my God, I remember playing him back in high school. My team used to play Sarah all the time over the summer, and going against him, it just was no fun. He was just dominant on every facet of defense. Just like, you couldn't do anything. As a slot receiver, I could not do anything against Adoree. And he's just, the way he's able to do it on the college level so dominantly, it's amazing. It's absolutely outstanding. And it's such an honor to have him at our school performing the way he has and not giving up hope after such a start. But yeah, I believe, besides our defense playing amazingly, if that's a word, our lines in general just had the games of their lives. I mean, Sam Darnold had all day on every play to throw the ball. I mean, he would have 6 to 10 seconds each play. Washington had no pass rush whatsoever. Nothing. None at all. Our offensive line played amazingly. Our defensive line was getting after. Poor Augustin, fantastic. He had a day to remember. I mean, there was honestly, there was probably not a play that Washington had offensively that did not have holding. They were holding on every play because they could just not stop us. They could not stop our defensive rush. It's not like we were blitzing either. We were just sending 4 and we were getting to the quarterback, which, I think it just, the way the game ended on a safety just perfectly shows how dominant our defensive line was in that game. So this game had many implications, not only for the Pac-12 itself, which I'm going to once again attempt to explain to all of you right now, but also for college football in general. Like I said, with Washington being at number 4, they were in the playoff discussion. They were in the playoff. And frankly, they're not going to be there this week. As you guys know, I put this video out before the playoff committee announces their rankings. But I expect them maybe to drop as far down as 7, perhaps. I don't know. There's so much, after this weekend of chaos, there's so much, everything is shaken up. So with this win over Washington, this is how the USC Trojans can still win the Pac-12 itself and make it back to Levi Stadium to play in the Pac-12 championship. They need to beat UCLA this week, which... Sorry, Sasha, but let's be honest here. Then they need to beat Notre Dame, obviously, just kind of for the record. But then they also need Utah and Colorado to lose one more game. And so, frankly, that's the problem. Because Colorado and they honestly, they control their own destiny at this point. It's unfortunate that the Trojans don't control theirs. But I think after getting the signature win, it's hard for anything to really just derail us, to make us sad at this point, because... this just feeling of jubilation I currently hold after that victory Very few things will be able to match that, frankly. But yes, so actually on the line right now, I actually have a very special guest with me. So I actually have a relative up at the University of Washington, up at UW. She is technically my great cousin, I believe is the explanation. She is the daughter of my mother's cousin. We're all big families, so we're all really close and everything like that. But I was talking to her a little bit before the game, just kind of, a little bit of trash talk here and there, like saying, oh, it's going to be quite the game. And even though I really did not expect us to win, not like that. But yeah, so Lauren, how's it going? How are things up there in Washington?
So I know we're kind of related or something, but I just don't really want to talk to you right now.
All right, Lauren, good to talk to you too. And so, as you guys can see, up there in Washington, they are very happy. And frankly, I don't blame them because the USC Trojans just crushed their college football playoff hopes and dreams. And with that, I have Sasha's segment, who for the first time in, what seems like almost 2 months now, gets to talk about a UCLA victory. And unfortunately, it was not a perfect weekend because UCLA and Notre Dame both ended up winning. Notre Dame got to beat Army and UCLA got to beat Oregon State. But I do believe that SC will have pretty good games against them these upcoming weeks. But go ahead, Sasha, take it away.
UCLA finally got a win after 4 straight losses. They pulled off a game we assumed they would win, but it's still nice to see that they actually finished it off this time. And sure, it's Oregon State, but it's still a somewhat improved Oregon State, which the past couple weeks UCLA might have even lost to, but they managed to kind of pull themselves together, and the offense kind of stepped up again, got the run game going, so that was finally great to see after so long of having just absolutely no rush game at all. It was big for morale just because you want to have something going into the USC game. You want to have some kind of decent feeling because for the past month it's been nothing but just failure. So it's nice to have something to show for in the month of November and September. But so next week is the big game. It's always a big game even if you're not really in a position to win or come close to winning, which I don't think UCLA is. They're just not. The schemes they run aren't very favorable against a team like USC, which is going to come out of the gates and run the ball down your throat and then kind of get a play action pass here and there with Darnold, and they're not really good against mobile quarterbacks, so that's really going to. And Darnold's really, I didn't think he was as fast as he is, and he's the type of quarterback that's just going to bully you down the field if he gets run lanes open, if he rolls out and kind of just extends plays for the entire game. Our DBs aren't going to be able to hold up with the USC receivers, including Juju, including guys like that. So it doesn't look like a great matchup. And on defense, I think the main thing UCLA is going for right now is its defense, and if the defense can hold Darnold in the offense, Ronald Jones, guys like that, it doesn't look good, but if the defense can do that, I think Mike Faithful can maybe hold out for long enough to kind of get into the fourth quarter kind of still competitive, and then maybe, we get a few lucky plays here or there, some muff punts, maybe a kickoff return. It's things like that are going to be the real, the real winning points of the game, because we're not going to win just straight up offense versus defense or defense versus offense. We're going to have a special teams play here or there, a really great turnover, maybe even a defensive touchdown. And that's pretty much it. If it's just our guys versus their guys, it's not going to end up very well, because they have better personnel right now, they have a better scheme right now. We have to get some lucky plays here and there, we have to get some special teams plays, and we have to outcoach them. That's pretty much it. I'm pretty excited to watch the game. Excited just because every year it's exciting. Maybe not before UCLA's kind of resurgence. Maybe it wasn't fun back then, but it's been fun the last 4 or 5 years, and it's going to be fun the next couple of years because both teams are kind of on the rise again. USC was down because of sanctions, because of other things, coaching, things like that, but both teams are kind of back up there at the moment, and it's going to be exciting for the next few years, especially with Darnold and Rosen coming back, progressing, and seeing how they're gonna kind of go at each other next year and maybe the year after that. So we'll see. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you next week.
Okay, Sasha, thank you very much for that segment, and congratulations on your stunning victory over the Oregon State Beavers. But for this final segment, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and get a little cheesy with all of you, if that beginning wasn't cheesy enough. But I'm going to go ahead and put on every piece of USC gear that I have within arm's distance of my desk where I currently film these videos. And we're going to go ahead and start with the cheesy Perfect Day glasses. Even though it wasn't a perfect weekend, I'm still going to put them on just for the sake of this video. And then I'm going to follow it up with this hat just so I can get some more SC branded stuff. I just broke the hat. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It looks great though. Then we're going to go ahead and put on the free foam finger, which I have featured before, even though it's still not a perfect game. I'm still going to go ahead and show it. Then we've got my favorite little USC football. Look at this. It's a little cringy, but that's okay. USC Trojans, fight on, ladies and gentlemen. And last but not least, we're going to go ahead and focus on Mini Mark Salad. Go ahead. I went ahead and got him at the Utah State game when they were handing these out for free. I actually kind of like it. It's pretty cool. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Los Angeles Bias. My hair is now officially really messed up. But thank you guys so much for tuning in each and every week. And I will see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.